That's nice, of course. The speedometer reads exactly 44,600 kilometers. The journey in Africa begins.
Eure Aufmerksamkeit, also nehmt euch Zeit und werdet aufnahmebereit, denn wir sind hier, wisst Bescheid, wir sind die vier und der Verstand gibt uns die Hand und wir betreten Neuland.
Good morning, welcome to another episode of Light Is Right. Greetings to the girls, hello to the boys. The only thing I can think of is that I'm turning it off, because I've had enough. Not so much with this game, but I have a nice young man who is also traveling to Africa. And I'm playing dumb and stupid with him until we arrive in Africa and can leave the ship. I've just got on and on. You can see them. And yes, I'm going to turn off the camera again so I can continue playing. We are now entering the harbour. I'm filming through the dirty window. The picture will look accordingly. I decided to join the queue so it wouldn't be so long for me, instead of waiting up on the deck, perhaps, to get a good snapshot of the harbour in Tunis. That's why, the picture might not be that great right now. I'll go into the belly of the ship, load my moped, ride out, and then we'll see if they let me into this beautiful country. So, we are finally out after reloading the packing mule with light margin packs. Yes, that's what it looks like in the harbour. Now we have to find customs. But we are stuck here. It's a dead end, the very first one. Very poorly researched, badly planned route. I hope I can get past this. Looks like it. Right, now we have to go there. I'll just take the right turn. Then maybe in there up ahead. I haven't been to the border that often, so it's new territory, as it is for many. What's that? Nice sign saying? There were a few cars there, resent the plane's assembly. Let's take a look. Slowly, calmly. That couldn't be so bad. So, should I record there? I think so. Unless I take off my helmet, then I'll turn off. Let's see what happens. I've already got the stamp in my passport. I think now we'll have to go through customs or something. That's always the case at the border. So I'd say I'm halfway done. The question then arises whether there will be something like checking suitcases like stupid, opening bags, or some other kind of madness that is necessary, or whether I can just check through. I'll just ride past the first checker and see if he let me through. That's the question. I think so, right? I'll try it slowly. If not, he'll scold me anyway. I'm feeling my way slowly and I'm already through. How wonderful is that? Thanks to my very first long-term girlfriend, she taught me that cheekiness wins.
Okay, to this place. Okay, now I go. I can go?
Okay, right straight through when the light is green, will just follow the one in front of me. And now it's obvious that it's going to take a little longer. Shukran. Well, that's great. When the authorities wave you through, so to speak. I don't have a paper. Let's see if we need it. Maybe we can do without it. Thank you, bonjour. Let's see if we need anything. Bonjour. Thank you. So, oi, we are too close. Well, are you standing? It's nice, of course. According to the Speedo, exactly 44,600 kilometers. The journey in Africa begins. In Tunisia. How nice to remember that. Yeah, I hope you can see it somehow in the picture. That's what it is for now. I'm actually almost finished. Now it's just a matter of getting out of the mess. Maybe showing my passport again. And then it's basically done, theoretically. Thank you. Merci.
Okay,
So, there you go. Now, of course, I could copy and paste this from a lady who also travels around the world, but of course I won't. I'll just say again, greetings to the girls, hello to the boys. Oh, merci, merci, merci. I would have already left. I could have already placed the first euro. Because I'm a really nice guy, I don't have a single euro left. Not a single euro. Because logically, I spent it all on coffee on the ship, so that I don't have to carry any coins around with me, which weighed a lot. Let's see if we can get out of the Heber area. Following this super cool big German expedition Mercedes-Benz. Oh, only a Mercedes is a Mercedes. How right you are. However, I don't think that's really the case anymore. That was once upon a time, at least in my opinion. So I'll just stroll along with it now. Eventually, I find my bearings. Apart from the border, what does the plane look like? I'm now rolling along the main road for about 70 kilometers westwards, more or less parallel to the coast, to the Mediterranean Sea. And there, if I'm not mistaken, there should be a campsite, inshallah, I could say. I want to set up camp there for the night to acclimatize, settle, and reorganize. Then tomorrow I can continue my journey at the leisurely place. What else is there to mention? The whole entry process could be a bit easier if you could write down somewhere for idiots how to run from one counter to the next. You may have to declare money, then you have to show that you have insurance, which I do in this case. Then you also need a stamp from someone somewhere. Then you have to enter the whole thing into an online app from, I don't know what, the Tunisian Immigration Authority or something like that. Of course, it's only in French, which is understandable in principle. It's just French speaking, but you could still make it a bit more modern. There are already great translators that you don't even have to pay for. In other words, ask some AI to do it. Well, we'll see. In any case, that was taken care of, and then you run somewhere else to get another stamp, get another form, another duplicate, keep the carbon copy, and someone else takes the other one. And at the end of the day, you're finally done with the madness. It all took a while, but not too long. I'd say it took about an hour, and then you're all ready to go to Africa, Tunisia. The driving style is perhaps not quite Italian, so I'm holding back for now until I've checked out how people drive there. Sorry, another English word, until I figured out how people drive here. But you hardly see any motorbikes or scooters so far. So single track vehicles, you don't really see them yet. That was my first impression with a brief import report from Packing Donkey with me. Now we have the first moped, a fat Yamaha MT. Definitely loud. Open exhaust with the sun on the back. Cool, isn't it? Ah, a sheriff. That's great. We'll keep going now. That was 30 kilometers for me out of the greater Tunisia area, which is probably like, well, for those who live in the east, Vienna to Wiener Neustadt. But here it's XXXL. Everything is packed, full of cars and so on and so forth. Thousands of motorways. Yes, zoom in on a map and you'll see it anyway. Yes, and I've just left the motorway I was on, this urban motorway, because at some point it becomes a toll road, as far as I've been informed correctly. And now I'm rolling along comfortable on a federal highway again, much quieter already. When it's sunset here, you can see that quite clearly on the Garmin, this old one. Sunrise is at 6 a.m. and sunset is at 6:35 p.m. This is now the village test tour, where my campsite should be in 1.6 kilometers. That's my destination for the day. I already have just short of 196 on my Garmin. It's already rural Tunisia, with the sun shining from opposite direction. All hell is breaking loose, you could almost say. Mainly the gentlemen who are doing nothing, and the ladies are bustling around and have to go shopping. It's the same everywhere, isn't it? What do the ladies say about? Please comments below. And what do the gentlemen say about? Please comments below. I'm struggling through it. It's really brilliant for, wow, what day is today? That's a good question. Is there kind of a fair today? That's really cool. Shoes, everything. The terrain starts right in the city, which is really cool. I almost want to live here. You don't have to travel hundreds of kilometers or even a few kilometers to ride on terrain. You can enjoy it right in your home village. I'm zigzagging through this village right now because the thing is sending me all over the place and I'm not really paying attention. Now I have to go down somewhere. Theoretically, it continues there, but I kind of like these little detours in the city or in a village because you might see a little more of it than if you take the direct route. Look, this is really off-road. How cool. So now we have a graded path. Yes, graded doesn't come to mind in German, of course. I'd be happy if someone could translate that into German. Now I think I found a way. Beautiful countryside in the back. 86 meters, then left again. Now we have the sun in our backs. We are riding in the wrong direction, so to speak, but not for too long. Great. Well, that was a short trip through the town or village of Testur. There it is, Testur. There's. Back there where the flag is, the checkered flag, there's supposed to be a campsite, and that's where I'm heading now. At least there's obviously some life there.
Camping. Bonjour. Camping. Bonjour, monsieur. Is that a camping? Merci, merci. Oh,
Yes, there's a campsite. Cute puppies, several puppies. Another puppy.
bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Now for a little end to the day. This is the lovely campsite. Fortunately, the operator speaks German. Her partner, I assume, speaks French in any case. And they run what I think is, I don't know, a kind of organic campsite, but with endless olive trees and who knows what else. Back there is the lounge area. I just rolled past it to set up my tent here in my nice spot in this beautiful place. Unfortunately, it's already getting too dark as I can see for myself. The light just isn't enough anymore. Anyway, I'm camping under olive trees. The olive harvest is still to come. They'll have enough to do then anyway. Just to let you know in advance, if you are not heading directly to the south of Tunisia, you can really take a detour to Tindouf, heading west. And she also told me that I was very lucky because they themselves had just returned from a 4x4 off-road tour a few hours before me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have been able to get in at all. So maybe it's a good idea to let them know that you plan to stop by and get in touch beforehand. It's something I don't like to do because you almost never know how the day will end or where it will end. That's why I rarely book anything in advance because suddenly a flat tire means you can't ride as far as you had planned to go today. So I just take the risk. If it hadn't been possible, I would have found some alternative. Yes, as I said, this is Tunisia, west of the capital. The sun also sets in the west here. That's roughly the direction we are heading in now. Thanks again for turning in, for watching, for sharing the excitement, maybe even one or two of you. And with that in mind, I hope I'm saying it right again this time. Greetings to the girl, hello to the boys.